In the previous video, we started to code our little drawing app by creating the GameBoard class. In this video, we continue the project by creating instructions and error messages for the app. So, let's start coding. And the first thing I'm going to do is to create a class that will hold all the messages. Now, this class will only contain methods that display instructional and error messages. There is no functionality and we don't have to worry about the state of the class. In fact, we only want to use each method as needed. So when we want to display instructions, we call the instructions method. And if we want to display error message, we'll display the appropriate method with the message. So, for that reason, we can make this class static. What this means is that I do not have to create an instance of the object, and like I said, I can just use the individual methods as needed. So, the first message will be the instructions for the user. Again, the method is going to be static and only contain the text displayed on the screen. Now, the instructions are simple. We want to let the user know how to move in any direction and how to draw. So, we'll simply display what commands are available and what input is available. Now, we don't want to draw each time we move, we only want to draw in cells that the user instructs the program to draw in. So, we need a way to put the pen down on the paper, so to speak, and how to lift the pen off the paper. So we can make it so when user presses 1, the pen is up, when the user presses 2, the pen is down, meaning that the pen will be drawing. And to move certain directions, we can assign 3 to north, 4 to east, 5 to south, 6 to west, and to quit the program, the user presses 7. So, very simple console write line text instructions. Okay, next, we will have two different input error messages. One message will be if the user enters anything other than numbers 1 through 7, because those are the only valid input. And second message will be if the user tries to move too many spaces, which would result for the turtle to be outside of the board. So I'm going to create a variable that will hold the appropriate error messages. And notice that this is static as well. So to display invalid input message, I'm going to create a static method and call it simply invalid input. And here we will change the error message and inform the user that invalid input was entered. So this method doesn't return anything, it simply directly assigns the error message to our error message variable. So in this case, we are simply telling the user to enter valid input, which is a number between 1 and 7. And in the next message that we will code is the message that will tell the user that he is trying to move too many spaces. However, to make it more useful for the user, we can also tell the user how many spaces he can actually move in the direction he's trying to go. So not just saying that, yeah, you're trying to move too many spaces, but also, yeah, you're trying to move too many spaces, only this many spaces are available for you to move. So I'm going to create a method and call it Invalid Move, and again, it's going to be static. Now to display how many spaces the user can actually move, we need to pass that information into our method. So we will simply pass an integer and call it spaces. But we also need to know not only the number of spaces, because that varies depending on which direction the user is trying to go. So we also need to pass the argument that will be the direction. So at this point, we do not actually have the directions coded, so I am just going to pass it as a string for now. But later, we will code the directions as enums, and then we will revisit this method and change it to the correct direction. But for now, like I said, the string will do just so we don't get error messages. So I'll pass it as a first argument, and I will pass a string and call it directions. And inside the body of the method, we will assign a string to the error message, where I am passing the actual variable directly into the string. And it will simply say invalid move, you can only move how many spaces to the whatever direction is being passed, or the direction that the user wants to go. And that's really all the messages we need. So in the next video, we can code the directions the turtle can go. So I'll see you in the next video.